Hello, and once again, welcome back to the Accounting File. Today, we are going to discuss about the analysis of financial statements. In my previous videos, if you look out, I have told you about the three major financial statements, namely P&L account or the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Today, we are going to take a further step apart from this and going to study about the ratios. So basically, why ratios are used? Because it is not possible for our stakeholders to read each and every detailed component of our balance sheet. They just want something very comprehensive financial statement that could easy handedly help them to take their financial decision. So that's why the concept of ratios was introduced. And in this context, we have basically four major kinds of ratios, starting with the liquidity ratios. So liquidity ratios, as the name suggests, are those which shows what is the liquidity position of a company or how much liquid is a company is. That is how much assets, liabilities are available with the company in the liquid form. Now this liquidity ratio is again divided into two parts. First one is the current ratio. So current ratio is a measure of liquidity which is used to meet the ability of long-term obligation, of short-term obligation, my mistake, sorry. So basically in this you look out that how many current assets at present available with you can meet your current liabilities. So that's why it's a current ratio. Your current assets matching your current liability, and ideal ratio is always supposed to be 2 is to 1. So anyways, if you have a ratio of 2 is to 1 and above that, that is considered to be good. What is quick ratio? Quick ratio is basically anything apart from your stock, because stock is that thing which takes a little bit time to convert into cash. So that's why any other asset, any other current asset apart from stock, namely prepaid expenses, prepaid assets, your debtors, your cash, short term investment, accounts receivable, bills receivable, all this forms your quick ratio, quick assets. This quick assets is divided by current liabilities to obtain the quick ratio. Now, after the liquidity ratio, we have the debt service coverage ratio or the debt service ratio. In this, basically, we look out what is the proportion of debt to various components, say total assets, total equity, and the interest to debt ratio. So, basically, first of all, we have debt to total assets. In this, we look out what a percentage of assets are financed by long term and short term debt. So in this, basically you include both long-term debt and short-term debt and divide it by total assets to obtain debt to total assets ratio. Now there is also another ratio which is called as debt to total equity, in which you divide the total debt by total equity to obtain the ratio of total debt against your total available equity. What is times interest earned? That is how what is your ability to meet interest obligation. Whenever you will repay the debt, you might have an obligation to pay interest also as a charge along with that. So, what is the times interest earned in that context? What is your income before income taxes and interest divided by the interest charges? So, times interest earned will be 14 in this example, as you can see. Next, we have the turnover ratios. In turnover ratio, basically, we will see that what is the capability of the available accounts receivable and inventory to convert or to turn over. So, turnover is basically anything which is generated out of revenue from sales. It's called as turnover. You might have heard of the term that this is the annual turnover for this company. In the end, like whenever the accounting or financial year end in March, you might have heard of this term, right? So basically, in accounts receivable turnover, this is the frequency of your collection cycle, which also monitors your credit policies. The formula for this is to calculate by net credit sales divided by average net accounts receivable. An inventory turnover ratio shows the frequency of inventory rotation. So in this, basically you monitor inventory management. So you simply divide your cost of goods sold divided by your average inventory. How do you calculate this average inventory? It's simple. Take opening inventory plus closing inventory and divide it by 2. You will get the average inventory. After the turnover ratios, you have to calculate the profitability ratios. There is no purpose of any business if it does not exist for profitability. The whole and sole and prior purpose of any business is to generate profit. And this profit is again divided into two major parts, the gross profit and the net profit. So there is no basic difference between them. It's just that the gross profit is something which does not include your cost part of that, and net income, net profit consider the cost part of that also. So to calculate the net profit on sales, it is basically the profitability on sales and it is used for comparison and trend analysis. And same is the case with the gross profit. To calculate the net profit on sales, you have a simple formula, net income by net sales. And to calculate the gross profit margin, you divide the gross profit by net sales. Next, we have a return on assets. So in this, basically you see how much your asset will be utilized in producing returns. That is how much your assets will generate returns for you. So basically the formula is simple. You need to consider net income plus interest expense and divide it by average number of assets available with your company. And to calculate the same on return on equity, you deduct the dividend part of it and divide it by average common equity from the net income. Now, apart from this, there are other indicators also which discuss the financial or which indicates the financial health of your company. That is the EPS. EPS, as I have already discussed in my last video, earning per share. So basically, whatever income is available to the shareholders divided by the number of shares gives you the earning per share. And then we have the price earning ratio where you divide the market price of share by earnings per share, dividend rate or yield ratio, wherein yield is checked that how much investor will take a yield from their dividend payment. So annual cash dividend divided by market price per share, you have a dividend payout ratio and book value. This all I will not be explaining in detail because for this you can go to my last video and check this out. Now this is a balance sheet. We are going to do an example now. So this is a balance sheet basically, as you can see in this. And these are some of the additional facts. Then you can check out for statement of retained earnings. Income statement is also available. The trend analysis. So basically trend is that how much is the conversion rate on your of your assets and your liabilities. So I hope you might have liked today's videos and do not forget to like this video and do not forget to like, share and subscribe my channel and thanks for watching.